Aussies have racked up nearly $5 billion on credit card debt. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's check out this article discussing, well, the credit card debt that Aussies have racked up. Now, I'm still fighting with my bank actually to get my credit card cancelled, my little $500 one I had for my business. Here's the thing, you'd be charged $3 to withdraw the additional money. I paid a bit too much off it, just had it sitting there. And I thought, yeah, I'll just cop the $3. If I drive to the bank, it means I'll stop at 7-Eleven and I'll get some coffee and a chocolate. I'll be naughty. So it'll end up costing me more. And of course, I withdraw the money out, and how much do they charge me? $2.50. So I still have 50 cents more in credit, so I'm going to have to go into the bank now because they're lying to me. The CBA lied to me. So you don't trust them. So here we go. People, are they depending on credit cards as times get tough? That's the concern and the fear. So Aussies have been putting more money than ever on credit cards as the cost of living bites. It is getting expensive, guys. Credit card spending has reached record levels in Australia as disposable incomes dry up, according to new research by Finder. Monthly purchases on credit cards reached a record high $33.5 billion in January, according to data by the Reserve Bank of Australia. A whopping 17% increase over the year and an extra $4.9 billion put on plastic in 12 months. Soaring cost of living pressures were the likely contributor, with 1 in 2 Aussies currently experiencing financial stress. Finder's Cost of Living Report 2023 revealed 1 in 4 Australians said they couldn't manage their finances without a credit card. Now, I know there's the credit card bros who just love their credit cards and want to get the points and like the free coffee machine and all this stuff. But what about the transaction fees? You never mention that. What about the transaction fees? Paying on EFTPOS with a card, you won't have those transaction fees. Is that worth it? It makes me think of investing in good old some MasterCard shares because, they're always going to be making money. So, this figure has been on the rise over the past 2 years. In May 2021, just 1 in 5, 18% felt this way. I was really excited once credit card debt just crashed down. People were spending less and less money on credit cards. And of course, a lot of it went to, the afterpays and the zips and that type of stuff. Finder credit card expert Amy Bradney-George said a growing number of Aussies were using credit cards to buy things they couldn't pay for with cash. As prices continue to rise, consumers are depending on credit cards more, including to pay for essentials like food and utilities, she said. We got into a mess where we would have to get significant cash advances to pay for a lot of business costs because we had people paying us late. And that's a horrible situation to be in. That's a big cost. And that was, it's part of me learning to be picky with the clients I dealt with. You have $100,000 outstanding and you've got all these expenses. You got to pay it. You got to pay it. And that's stressful. That's very stressful. So we're doing a lot better now. But still, that was a tough situation to be in. But you just that's the problem. You don't want to get into the situation where you're using the credit cards to pay for things. You're just digging a hole. You need to really adjust your expectations. Or, I probably should have fired some people. With outstanding balances creeping up, households might quickly find themselves unable to pay back the debt they've accumulated. I wonder how many people, I should do a poll on the channel asking I don't know if you're the best sample guys, the viewers, how many people have credit cards and extra debt? Because I was talking to Rachel about this the other day, just how people are earning, $130,000 and, this one guy was struggling. And of course that was a divorce that threw him into a loan. But how many people have a card payment, have a credit card payment, and all of these other things that just chip away? You could be earning good money, but you're just a vehicle for that money to flow through to all these people who've lent you money to buy stuff. Once you get rid of all of that, if all you have is your mortgage, it's a lot less stress. Unless, of course, you bought at the peak and you pushed yourself too far. But imagine buying at the peak, pushing yourself too far, and still having all of, a car payment, a credit card payment, an Afterpay payment, a Zip payment, a Maya card payment. Do those still exist? There's a very real risk that relying on a credit card or any form of credit to cover those costs will lead to interest rate charges and further debt. Finder research of 1,310 workers in February and March 2023 found that 49% said they could only live off their savings for a month or less. Even more startling, 16% of workers said their savings would last less than a week. Bradney George said a worrying number of families were living paycheck to paycheck or pay to pay. The squeeze on finances is alarming for households across the country, especially those who have limited savings or other funds to draw on, she said. So let's have a talk about this one, guys. Now, we're always going to hear there's always going to be a portion of society that just don't have the skills, intellectual ability, or just bad luck and wind up in a situation where they get in a financial mess. There will always be some people that are in that situation. But here's the thing. It's not like it's a permanent state. People can go in and out of it. People's financial situations usually change throughout their lives. My concern is we're going to have a large cohort of people that are going to be hit really hard by the interest rate increases and the cost of living. It's not going to be felt equally throughout all of Australia. The class divide in Australia is going to grow even worse. I think egalitarian Australia is slowly disappearing, sadly, and, it's going to be a different country in 10, 20 years' time. Housing is the barometer that we're all most interested in and we all measure. I was talking to a neighbor today who's excited about, she's the one that keeps an eye on our street, what that house went for. She'll ring up the real estate agent to find out. My previous video, $250 for a room to rent in Algester. It's just nuts, guys. You used to be able to get a house for rent for that out there. These are the old working class suburbs of Brisbane. It's just going to get worse. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Check out Heise BIM and Heise Does. And if you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there's a few ways you can help out. You can support us on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care. Have a great day. And I will see you all in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.